Hello. Let's get real for a second. You say you want change. You want progress. You want a life that feels better than the one you're in. But here's the truth. Motivation won't get you there. Not long term. It's unreliable. It shows up when it feels like it. But self-discipline? That's different. That's what kicks in when motivation disappears. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's choosing long-term gain over short-term comfort. It's waking up early, putting in the reps, saying no to distractions, even when no one's watching. If you feel stuck, if you're tired of making promises to yourself and breaking them, there's one habit that changes everything: discipline. So in this video, we're going to break down 3 powerful reasons why self-discipline won't just improve your life, it'll completely transform it. If you are watching this video, it means that you are ready to change. We are going to look through 3 reasons why self-discipline will change your life. Let's dive in.
Reason number 1. You build trust with yourself. Every time you do what you said you do, even when you don't feel like it, you send a powerful message to yourself. I can be trusted. That might seem small, but it's actually everything. Because at the root of most people's struggles isn't laziness, it's a lack of self-trust. Think about it. How often have you made a promise to yourself to eat better, to wake up early, to stop texting that person, and then broke it a few days later? When that pattern repeats, something dangerous happens. You stop believing yourself. You stop believing in yourself. Your word loses value, even to your own mind. And when you don't trust your own word, confidence disappears. You start hesitating, second-guessing, avoiding risks. Not because you can't handle them, but because deep down, you don't trust that you'll actually show up when it counts. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline isn't punishment, it's practice. It's you showing up again and again, not because you feel like it, but because you've decided to. It's not glamorous, it's not always exciting, but it's consistent. And consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds trust. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, over delay, over doubt, you take back control. You become someone who follows through. And that's a superpower in a world full of talkers. Because talk is cheap, plans are easy, action is what separates dreamers from doers. You might not always be the most talented, the smartest, or the fastest. But if you can be the most disciplined, if you can become someone who does what they say they'll do, you will go further than most. And here's the best part. You don't need anyone's permission to start. You don't need perfect circumstances. You just need a choice. One small decision today to show up. Then another tomorrow, and another after that. Little by little, you rewrite your story. From I wish to I will. From I can't to watch me. From doubting yourself to becoming unstoppable. That's the power of discipline. And it starts now.
Reason number 2. You create momentum. Discipline turns small efforts into massive progress. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need a perfect routine, perfect motivation, or perfect conditions. What you do need is to show up again and again and again. That's where most people go wrong. They chase intensity. They want to make huge leaps overnight. They set extreme goals, go all in for 3 days, and then burn out. Why? Because they relied on motivation. And motivation, as you've probably learned by now, is unreliable. But discipline shows up when motivation disappears. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired or busy or uninspired. It just asks, did you keep the promise you made to yourself? Even if it's small. Especially when it's small. Because here's the truth most people miss. Tiny actions done consistently stack up fast. That 20-minute workout you didn't want to do still counts. That chapter you read before bed, still progress. That one healthy meal you chose instead of junk, still a win. You might not see the change immediately, but with discipline, you build it. Like drops of water filling a glass. One drop doesn't seem like much, but over time, the glass overflows. That's what discipline does. It builds momentum. And momentum is a powerful thing. When you keep showing up, hard things get easier. Your brain adapts. Your habits solidify. Your identity shifts. You stop thinking of yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who does. That shift, that's when real transformation begins. It's not about perfection. You'll have off days. You'll mess up. That's part of it. But discipline means you come back anyway. You recommit. You keep going, even if you're moving slowly. Because slow progress is still progress. Because effort compounds. Because your future doesn't need perfect. It needs consistent. So the next time you feel like skipping the small stuff because it doesn't seem to matter, remember this. The people who win long-term aren't always the fastest. They're the ones who kept going when others stopped. And that's what discipline is all about. Besides, with necessary momentum gained, another thing happens. It is the next and final reason.
Reason number 3. You stop being controlled by feelings. Let's face it, your feelings aren't always your friend. Some days you'll feel lazy, unmotivated, doubtful, tired, and that's normal. But if you only take action when you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. You can't build a meaningful life by chasing your mood, because feelings are inconsistent. One day you're energized, the next day you want to disappear under the covers. That's just human. But the truth is this: you are not your feelings. You can acknowledge them without obeying them. That's what discipline gives you. It's the muscle that allows you to act even when your emotions scream otherwise. It's the voice that says, yes, I feel off today, but I'm showing up anyway. And that's powerful. Because when you stop depending on emotional highs to get things done, you become unstoppable. Discipline teaches you that it's possible to feel tired and still work, to feel afraid and still speak, to feel uninspired and still create, to feel alone and still keep going. And that's real freedom. When you're no longer controlled by your emotional weather, you gain power. You start living from values, not moods, from vision, not convenience, from intention, not impulse. Does that mean you become cold and robotic? Of course not. It just means you stop letting your feelings dictate your future. You become the kind of person who does what needs to be done, especially on the days it's hardest, because those days actually matter the most. Anyone can show up when it's easy. But the people who change their lives, they show up when it's hard. That's where the growth is. That's where your edge is. That's where confidence is built. So, next time you don't feel like it, remind yourself, you don't have to feel like it. You just have to begin. And when you do, even with heavy thoughts, even with low energy, you'll prove something life-changing to yourself. That your purpose is stronger than your mood. And that's how discipline sets you free. With that being said, it's time to sum up everything we've gone through and learn this hard lesson.
So, what do we have in the end? Self-discipline isn't about being harsh, it's about being committed.
It's not about pushing yourself to the edge or living like a machine. It's about choosing your future self over your current comfort. Not because you hate where you are, but because you respect where you're going. Discipline isn't punishment. It's self-respect. It's the decision to show up even when no one's watching. It's the promise you keep to yourself again and again until it becomes who you are. Let's revise the reasons mentioned and make a conclusion. Reason number 1, you build trust with yourself. Every time you do what you said you do, you reinforce your own reliability. You start believing in yourself, not just in theory, but in action. That belief creates real confidence, the kind that isn't shaken by setbacks or silence. Reason number 2, you create momentum. You don't need to take massive steps every day. Small, consistent actions build more progress than rare bursts of motivation. Discipline fuels that progress, and progress fuels motivation. That's the loop. Reason number 3, you stop being controlled by feelings. You stop waiting to feel like it. You stop living on emotional autopilot. Discipline teaches you to act from purpose, not mood. And that's where real freedom begins. So if you want to change your life, stop looking for motivation and start building discipline. Not overnight, not perfectly, but consistently. Because discipline creates the life you actually want, not just the one you settle for. Make the decision once, keep it every day, and watch who you become when you stop breaking promises to yourself. Even a YouTube channel requires to be consistent. Despite every fall, every mistake, it has to develop, just like you. Otherwise, you will be caught in a loop with no exit. Change your life while it is not too late. You've got this. I believe in you. Thanks for watching, and remember, your life changes the moment you do. I'll see you in the next video.